Hi, and welcome back to my channel. So on this post, I will be sharing 10 things I would like to, say to a younger self. And when I mean a younger self, I'm talking about somebody in their 20s, somebody, a teenager. And let me also add as well that if somebody in their 30s feel to take the knowledge as well, that's okay. So please have your ears plugged. This post might be longer, will be longer actually than the usual posts that I do make, but I'm sure that you're going to enjoy it. So I'll just encourage you to have your ears plugged, keep on your activities, or have your ears plugged and get your tea, sip your tea, and let's have a good chat. And yes, let's dive into it. Like I mentioned earlier, so this post is about sharing 10 things I would like to say to my younger self. So let me also just add this, just a bit of a diversion. I just want to mention that, on my post, it's all going to be faith-based and also lifestyle content as well. I intend to upload posts, related to kids as well as grown-ups. So I'll please request that when you see the post made for kids, please do share with your goddaughter, godson, your son, your daughter, your nieces, your nephews, your cousins, as many kids that they can relate, and just help them grow in the faith as well. And yes, and also for the grown-up posts as well, please, I'd appreciate if you please do share with friends, share with family members, and let's keep growing together. So the first thing I would like to share with my younger self is have a genuine relationship with God. Like, give your life to Christ. Trust me, this decision is defining. Like, it may seem like a cliche, or it may seem like perhaps maybe you feel like, oh, she's saying it again, like this is like you've heard this over and over again. Trust me, like, you're doing yourself good. Like, I would also even say that giving one's life to Christ is not only about, like, yes, it does allow us to have a relationship with God. It does allow us to enjoy the blessings that comes from that, that relationship. It allows our lives to be used by God for the purpose in which He has intended, us for when He created us. But have you ever also thought about it that giving your life to Christ also has, like the human benefit on you? Like, for example, if you're going to stick to what the Bible says, like, obey the Bible talks about not being angry, like don't allow the sun go down on your anger. Health-wisely, you're advised to actually smile more. There's a saying that it takes more nerve to smile than to frown. So imagine like you not getting angry, like trying to avoid to get angry or avoid allowing the sun to set on your anger. Like, you're saving yourself health wisely, you're keeping yourself like in a good headspace. The Bible, like, we know that as Christians you want to stay away from alcohol. Like, we also know that alcohol has its health implication. It has its health implication. It causes impairment. Alcohol affects our thinking. It has a way that, depending on the dosage that one has taken in, it has a way of affecting one's behavior. Do you want to talk about smoking? Smoking has its health effect as well. And going in line with the Bible that talks about our body being the temple of the Lord Jesus Christ, you don't want to do anything that is not pleasing to God being with your body. So giving one's life to Christ, that's just me citing examples. Like, giving your life to Christ is just, like, it's nice if you can give your life to Christ. The earlier the better. It just saves you, it defines your life, it gives your life, a focus. It helps God to actually be able to use you for the purpose as to why He has created you. Remember that, when God actually created us, He had a plan for us. Like, if you go to Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5, when He was telling Jeremiah that when you were in the womb I knew you, He had already ordained him to be a prophet. God already has plans for us. So that's it. So number one, give your life to Christ. It's a defining decision that you will make that would also help your life forward. Trust me, I'm not saying that there's not going to be challenges. Life is going to be life. There are going to be challenges, but the fact that you've made that decision to follow Christ, it also has its blessing, and it just has its saving. It's just going to save your life a lot of other stuff. So yeah, so that's number one. So number two, be authentic. Another word for authentic here is be original. Be original to yourself. There's tendency for one to want to try to conform, but don't try to conform to negative things. Don't try to conform to things that are not serving, that are not glorifying to God, and that are not also serving purpose as well, in order for you to blend in. Avoid peer pressure. Like, take this scenario for example. If you have 10 persons and you keep adjusting yourself just to please each individual, keep pleasing each individual, and there's also the tendency that everybody has different standard of how they would want you to please them. If you keep changing to do that, like, the person that is being hurt here, let me use that word, is you. Because how long are you gonna keep changing for people? At some point you're gonna get to the point whereby your back is against the wall. Like, you cannot do it anymore. Like, you cannot keep changing. You're about to break. So be original. Let people know you for who you are. It's important to uphold morals, to uphold good morals, to uphold standard. So let people know you for who you are. Don't try to conform. Don't try to adjust yourself in order to please, some particular sets of people or particular group. Most especially, I'm talking about the groups that are not edifying or glorifying to God. Like, trust me, you don't owe anybody to be like them. The only person that you and me are accountable to is God. So as much as you can, know that you're good. God has made you as you are, and you owe it to God to be the best version of what He has created you for, and that's what you should pursue. So avoid peer pressure. So allow me add that while I just said that we are accountable to God, we are also accountable to ourselves as well, because we're living on earth. We are interdependent on each other. So we are accountable to ourselves, as well as I would also, and also, like, if you have a relationship with people, it's also nice to know those people for who they are, and adjust to the principles that they follow, so long it's not something that is against moral standard as well as against the word of God. So the authenticness I'm talking about here, it's with reference to you being original to yourself and avoiding peer pressure, like peer pressure influencing you to do something that you know it's not okay to be done. So please understand that whilst we're accountable to God, we're also accountable to ourselves as well. And in terms of relationship with people, it makes sense as well to know people, know what their values, their standard, the principles are, and it makes sense to comply with it, just as the way you would also want somebody to know you for who you are, know your principles, know your standard, and also endeavor to abide by it. So it's just so vice versa with relationship with people, yes, but I'm talking about authenticness in reference to avoiding peer pressure. Number 3, fight your fears. Fight your fears. Fear is limiting, it holds back. Tackle your fear so that it doesn't entangle you. Fear can rob you of a beautiful future. Fear can rob you of opportunities. Fear can rob you of growth. Fear can hold you back. Like, fear is a parasite. It would eat. Just fight your fears. Fight your fears. If you have any dream, any goal in your mind, so long it's for a good cause, it's a good thing, just do it. Do it. You never know what you can do, how much you can achieve, except you try. So don't listen to those voices in your head that are holding you back. Just fight your fears and push forward. Push forward to be the best of what you can be. And let me also add as well that be careful of individuals as well that has the tendency to rub their fears on you. There are individuals that they have fears, and if you're not careful in the bit of maybe like talking with them or sharing with them, there's a way that their fear also gets rubbed off on you, and it's demoralizing. Like, it has a way of, I use the word demoralizing to say that it just has a way of not making you do what you're meant to do, like do that good thing that you're meant to do, or venture out, into that idea. So just watch out for those people, like know those people, because when you know those people, then you know how to handle them. Like, when there is that tendency of them protruding their fears on you, like you don't want that. So fight your fears. Do not hold back, because if you're holding back, time is going, and trust me, you never know what's waiting for you on the other side after fear. On the other side of fear, like if you're able to conquer that fear, you don't know what's waiting for you on that other side. So please fight your fear. Perhaps your fear is even more than one. Fight all the fears. Number 4, I would say be humble. Be humble. There's this understanding from the Bible that whosoever exalts himself shall be abased, and whosoever humbleth himself shall be exalted. So yes, be humble. Actually, to be honest, one can say that pride stinks. Like, pride has an aroma. If we're going to put it in a metaphoric way, it has an aroma, and the aroma that comes from pride is it stinks. Like, it repels people from you, and in the process there's a tendency that it could also repel people, potential helpers. It could also repel people that are meant to play a role in your life. Another thing about life is it's not everybody. Like, there's some people that they see beyond the character, so they can still push forward, to you. But there's some people that's upfront character just turns them off. So, and at that point, and if that person has a significant role to play, that's like one not helping oneself. So avoid pride. Like, be humble. Treat people the way you would want to be treated. Respect people. Be humble, and see how far humility will take you. Number 5, build true network. Understand that no man is an island and we need each other. So build true network of people that are going to be a blessing, that are impactful to you. So like, have mentors, spiritual mentors. As much as the number one person that we want to look up to is Jesus, because Jesus is the author and the finisher of our faith. And that's the person we should look up to. But also have, spiritual mentors that are upholding the truth. Have mentors that can help support you in your career, in your career path. Have mentors, for day-to-day living. So build true network of people, and understand that no man is an island. We all need each other. And you don't want to get to the point whereby you're at that point where you need the help of people, you need the resource of people, but because you haven't built true network, you are stranded. So please build true network of people. I will also add that whilst you are in that network, also seek to add value. So don't be like that person that is just receiving but not giving. So you as well seek to add value. Number 6, avoid using others' experiences as a benchmark for yourself. So when I mean a benchmark would be that you're using other people's experiences in a particular situation, which is quite similar as yours, as a defining standard for your own self. So whilst it's good to get people's experiences, learn lessons from it, because it's best to learn lessons from people's experiences, especially in situations that are not palatable, so that you don't walk that path. It's good to gather lessons from people's experiences, but at the same time, avoid wearing those people's experience on yourself, in such a way that you are towing the pathway of, oh, this happened to this person at this, like in this particular situation, is this going to happen to me as well? Having that benchmark. No, avoid having that. It's good to get experiences from people, because it's better to learn from people's lesson and not walk that path. But at the same time as well, be careful not to allow those experiences form like a benchmark for oneself, in terms of, oh, it happened to this person, and then you're thinking, is it going to happen to me as well? This is what happened to this person in this situation. Is this also going to happen to me? Understand that we're different people, and with God on our side, we trust him to come through for us. Not saying that he didn't come through for those other people as well, but just understand that you're different from others, and believe for the best. Number 7, I would say pray over everything. Pray about everything. Pray ahead. Prayer works. like if you're able to note the things that you've prayed about, when you start seeing the manifestation in future or down the line, it's comforting, it's reassuring. So pray over everything. There's nothing too small to pray about. Just pray over everything. Pray about everything and pray ahead. And number 8, it will be a tip for the workplace. Have emotional boundaries. Have emotional boundaries at work. Understand that you're at work. You're there to work. You're being paid to do a job. So have emotional boundaries in terms of, when things happen that you're not pleased with, or when situations happen and you're not pleased with it. Try not to wear those emotions on your sleeves. Be matured about it. Allow me also, be matured about it. Work when you're meant to work. You can leave work and then have somebody or some persons, confidential persons that you can share your mind with, rub your mind with. But just understand that being at work, have emotional boundaries. If you have emotional boundaries, it would help you in terms of how things get to you. And for number 9, be kind. Be kind to people. Be kind in everything you do. Do unto others what you want them to do to you. And let me also add that kindness pays. It pays. It does pay to be kind. You never know where that payment and when that payment will come in down the line, but it pays to be kind. So be kind to people, and also understand that there's also the knowledge, and there's a saying about how people may not remember what you say, but they do not forget how you make them feel. So be kind to people. And at number 10, I would say, whatever you do, avoid jealousy and envy. In life, you'll find yourself in situations or have things happen whereby there are people ahead of you. So celebrate people's win. Celebrate people's win, rejoice with them, and keep thriving, keep trying your best to achieve the success that you want to achieve. And should you see anything like worthy of note, you can also emulate that in order to help you achieve the success that you want to achieve. Just like you taking cues on how this person did it and you're not doing it, you could be like, okay, I could just imbibe this into my lifestyle and just add value to myself. And whatever you do, just avoid jealousy and envy. It's like a cankerworm that eats it eats deep. And there's also the knowledge you cannot attract what you repel. So if you are repelling something in somebody, something good in somebody, how do you want to attract that for yourself? So whatever you do, avoid jealousy, avoid envy, and celebrate people's win. Like, be truly happy for people. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I know this, like I said before, this was longer than the usual post I make, but I hope that with this nuggets shared, and this is not, and the list is is endless. I'm sure you find some other people as well, they would have some other things they want to share. So please leave comments down below and let's grow together. So once again, thank you for listening and thank you for watching.